Hey everyone, for today's Foundation Friday First Impressions, we are testing out the Loreal True Match. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Shelly. This is Shelly Saves the Day. This channel we are doing life hacks, tech tips, and beauty videos. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing. Now today's Foundation Friday First Impressions, I know it's a cult classic and tons of people love it. And I was like, I have to try this. It's a drugstore one. This is the Loreal True Match. This comes in, I believe, 33 shades, which is a lot. It is one of those that also has like the neutral or warm type of undertone that you can choose from. And so it may not be as many colors. It's just variations of the tone, if you know what I'm saying. I have picked up the color Buff Beige N4, so neutral. And because sometimes I don't like it if it's too pink and I don't like it if it's too yellow. I have like a weird match, so I always have a really hard time. That is the one thing I don't like about drugstore sometimes, is you have a hard time matching. I have heard a tip though that if you have a foundation that you think is really close, what you should do is take that foundation with you to the drugstore and kind of use it to compare with other bottles on the shelf. So I don't know why I've never done that before, probably because I have to think ahead of time, you know, to bring my foundation with me that best matches, but it's something I would try in the future, so there's a tip for you. So you guys know the deal. One half of my face is going to be done with a beauty blender, the other with a brush, and I will let you know my opinions on which one I think applies better. So the Loreal True Match, it says it is a super blendable makeup. It has broad spectrum SPF 17, and this is the neutral undertone. So I'm just gonna give it a good shake here. You know, one thing that I already see off the bat that I don't like about this is it is like in a dump bottle. There is no pump, and I don't like that as much because usually then you have to dump this on the back of your hand, a spatula on your face, whatever. It's not my favorite. So I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand. And honestly, I don't know if this is supposed to be super full coverage. I don't believe so. I think it's like a light to medium finish, so we will see how that goes. And if you can see it here, it's a little runny, but not too bad. Definitely I've seen some that are way worse than this, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, maybe that's not too bad of a color match, actually. Okay, some initial first impressions. It is super blendable. That is true. It is definitely living up to that claim. And when I put it on and I just kind of brushed it in, it just kind of melted with my skin, which is nice. But a con is going to be, I don't see very much coverage at all. Like, I think this could be one of those like everyday, no makeup type of foundations, but I definitely don't think that this is a full coverage foundation. I see, you know, definitely tons of my own freckles and skin imperfections coming through. And so I don't think it's good for those girls who really want to cover everything or have that mask, but it does look like my skin, just more toned and more evened out. So I will give it that. So I do think it's pretty, and I think that I actually found a pretty good shade. It's a little dark as you start to see, like it looks like as it's sitting on my skin, it's starting to get a little bit darker. So I don't know how bad the oxidation thing is going to get. It's not grabbing terribly at the dry spots on my nose, which is always the worst area. And I didn't have to use very much. So those are all on the pro side. The con is going to be so far the coverage. So let me go ahead and go in with the other side. Crap. Okay, so this right here, this is why I don't like dump tops. So I just did that and I just spilled a whole bunch all over my hand, and this would never happen if I was using a pump. So yeah, that is one thing I don't like about this foundation. I don't like that it doesn't have a pump because I just spilled it all over my hand. Okay, so I have to say that I think this foundation actually looks really nice. It looks like skin, but the things that I don't like about it are that it definitely accentuates my pores, and even though I use the pore filling primer, like I still see a whole bunch of like where your pores are, and so it looks like holes in your skin basically. So I don't know about that. I'm not loving that. I will say that I do prefer the way that it looks with a beauty blender. It's kind of close, but I do prefer the beauty blender. I'm just gonna go ahead and even this out real quick. Okay, so that is all finished. I will say that this foundation is one of those your skin but better type of things, which is good for a lot of people, and I think that it's nice that they have so many different colors in the range. I do think even though they said that this one was supposed to be neutral, I get more of a pink undertone, or I have pink in my undertone and it's really coming through, if that makes sense. So I'm not crazy about that, but I will say that like looking at it on camera, it does seem to match pretty well with my skin tone, but in person, it feels like it's really pink from here to down here. And I've had this problem with I had the L'Oreal Pro Glow, so even though, you know, it was a lighter color, it was just pink underneath. So I feel like I need something to like neutralize that. So maybe if I go for one that's in more of a cool tone, maybe in this same type of color or one shade lighter, if it's gonna oxidize, that's what I would do. I think I paid about $12 for this at my local Bartell Drug. I do like this one, and it definitely feels like foundation, but it's not as heavy as some that I put on, and I actually put on a lot because of the fact that, you know, when the dump top, it actually spilled all over my hand, and I wanted to go ahead and just see what it looked like when I put it on. I do think that it's a pretty foundation. I don't know if it's the right one for me. I think I would need to try one in the cool undertone, or maybe one step, you know, one shade lighter, so that when it oxidizes, it gets more to my color, because I do feel like in person it's a little dark and a little red. But other than that, those are my first thoughts on this foundation. I do think it's worth a shot. It's definitely better than in my opinion, I like it a lot better than the Pro Glow that I tried not that long ago. So if you were gonna try one of the L'Oreal ones between like the Pro Glow and this, I'd probably try this one. Although I do really like the Infallible Matte, and then there is that other one, that Infallible Total Coverage, I believe, that comes in like the squeezy tube, that I'm gonna test out as well. Those are my first impressions. I would love to hear yours. Are your experiences like mine, or do you love this foundation? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can join the fam. I'd love to hang out with you again very soon. I'll see you next week. Bye!